Hello and welcome to my attempt to guide you through the 10-man mode of Ragnaros in Firelands. Our composition for this is we had 3 healers, myself and my Resto Druid Boosh, and we have Quack, who is a Holy Priest, and then we had a Gnome, who is a Holy Paladin. Our 2 tanks consisted of a Blood Death Knight, a Feral Druid, and our DPS consisted of a Mage, an Arcane Mage, a Enhancement Shaman, Fury Warrior, a Hunter, and we also have a Warlock in group. So the main focus for the Holy Paladin was I set him onto tanks, obviously with tanks switching to watch those. I also aided with life blooms and switching targets with that. Holy Priest was mainly taking care of the raid, as was I. We completely abused our Arcane Mage to pop the traps, so I would call for those whenever we needed that, make sure everyone's topped up full health, and ask for him to pop the trap for us, and then obviously heal up taking that damage. Phase 1, once you've done it umpteen times, is just a breeze to get through. As you'll notice as well, we did set flares out specifically for this fight. We have the blue to the far left, the green to the far right, and this was to aid with the macros that we use depending on where the hammer actually lands. The star and the X I'll explain once we get a bit further into that. That's relating to the seeds. We actually have macros set up as well, so specific people will deal with their own Sons of Flame when they spawn. The dot classes are working on the distance ones that are further from the hammer. We abused myself as well, so I would go bear form and rage, bear form bash, switch to cat, get a combo point, and then maim, stun and add, so that the DPS that was working on the ad next to me had a chance to switch over before they touched the hammer. So there's a macro going out. We're all off to our target. Slows don't work on these, so you have to burn, stun or knock back these ads. So I know that I'm on this second ad from this furthest point here. So I will stun this one. The Hunter is taking care of the other one. Burn it down, no health. My stun wears out and he switches to that. Our tank dealt with the third ad. And the other side, we obviously had DPS on that and they've already killed theirs off. The next thing you do with that I mentioned previously is we have this star marker. So this is, we stack up on this side, our stack up point. We aim to form a row following this kind of arc position. This is purely so that when the seeds actually come, we've got a chance to move over. So we know a heartbeat after that hammer hits, seeds are going to come. So literally a second after, we run. We're not taking as much damage from the seeds then. We all run to the X, stack up at that point. I'll use my cooldown for the first one, so Trank. We know that after a hammer's hit, there will be an engulfing flame, so watching our feet here, I mean it's ahead of us, so obviously move back. Kill off ads. And then again, we're going to follow this arc position and try and kind of form a line spread out 6 yards apart for the next seeds that's coming. So we've had a hammer, so we know the next thing is going to be the engulfing flames. It's probably going to come with seeds at this point. Takes so much less damage if you actually start moving before the seeds hit as well. It took us a while to figure that one out. Engulfing flames. We know seeds are coming literally a second after, so we all start moving already. We have our paladin use aura mastery for this one, and we all stack on the star so that we don't get hit by the smash that will be coming next. Okay, nobody dies to the hammer, which is what we want. AoE the ads down. And then again, we'd form the arc position after this point. Our hunter managed to step in engulfing flames like a pro and die. So again, spreading out. Engulfing flames, so we know there's going to be a hammer next. And we've got another transition. So again, macro goes out, everybody goes to their assigned targets, and it's the same for me again, so I'm back over to my number 2 spot. tanks picking up the adds. Normally we'd ask the tanks to drag the adds to the middle so that they're in range of all healers, because obviously myself, I'm not actually healing, I'm stunning at the moment. So I was kind of yelling at our tank here to move in, because I was in bear form. And off he goes. The whole aim on this phase was we normally try to keep our Sons of Flame alive while we finish off the Scions, because the next phase won't start if there's still Sons of Flame alive. The next phase starts, the trigger is when all the Sons of Flame die. But somebody killed it off, so we go into the next phase with those up. People with blazing heat running out like crazy maniacs. We have a marked target to kill down on the Scions, obviously watching out for the lava waves too. And they're both dead. So now we kind of try and stay grouped-ish in the middle. Watching out for hammers, watching out for engulfing flames, and waiting on the first meteor to come down. Another smash going out. And there's the first meteor. So with this, I normally try and call out who that's on so they can start running. And our mage did an awesome job here and actually managed to kite it for quite some distance, so no one had to fret about it switching targets. The aim with that as well is we always try and run towards the outside wall, so we're not dragging it through melee and making casters and healers move. But he takes it right the way over. We know that the second one's going to be coming anytime soon. He knocks it back, obviously it's switched target. They run to the furthest they can. A lot of communication needs to go on here. Call out, coming through melee, coming through ranged. And there's our Holy Priest kiting it away on the outside. Obviously look out for smashes as you're doing that as well. And dead boss. We do Bloodlust at that point as well. But yeah, he's not so bad. I'll link the macros in the chat for you so you can see how we generally handle things. You want people to save the personal cooldowns to deal with those Sons of Flame, and then the rest is relatively easy. So to explain how we deal with the macros and make use of those when it comes to Sons of Flame, you can see from the setup here we've got the blue flare to the far left and we have the triangle green flare to the far right. Now with each of these macros, it obviously depends on where the hammer lands, so bearing in mind that we have the blue flare to the far left, green to the far right, the skull represents where the hammer lands. So the first macro is obviously if we get a left side hammer, the second one is for middle, and the last macro that's linked there is for the far right. So with the ones that are two nearest to the hammer, we have myself stunning an ad, and then we have our enhancement shaman who saves his cooldowns, wolves, and anything else he can use to burst down his own ad, and then he'll then switch to mine, which I keep stunned with bear, bash and maim. We've got our dot class, which is Smoo, our warlock, on the furthest away. We have our arcane mage on the second ad from that, who then switches over to the third ad. Our hunter's on the fourth, and our DK tank is on the fifth one, who can also death grip. And then we have our fury warrior deal with that sixth ad that's the nearest to the hammer. So each setup there, we can handle that. People save their personal cooldowns. What we do actually do as well is as soon as the hammer pops, we relink that macro in raid chat so people know exactly where they are going. Obviously you've got a DPS down, it's slightly more of a struggle, but you can handle it if you call for other help. So you can abuse your resto druid and make them go bear form, do the bash. If you have a holy paladin, you can have them hammer or use holy wrath as well. there's quite a few options. Really is to make it work for you. Obviously remember that slows don't work. If you have a knockback, you can make use of that. Any form of stun will work. Any death grips that you have in party as well. But you have to basically burn those down. So bear in mind to save your personal cooldowns for that if it is becoming an issue for you. Well, I do hope this has helped somehow. If you've got any questions, feel free to message me. You can come stalk my toon if you want. I'm usually on Boosh or on my pre-snow one. I'll be around, but mine knows how to get hold of me. So come on guys, I have faith. I know you can do it. You just gotta, yeah, kick his ass.